What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Fight Like Hell podcast, episode 49. We're coming to you on a Tuesday, on actually like an interesting Tuesday. Today is February 22nd, 2000. Oh gosh. Yeah, 2022. I'm fucking it
Come
up
on, Rob.
already.
You fucking shit up already.
It's basically today is 2/22/22.
Yeah, it's
And
2 Tuesday.
yeah, in case you're listening to us in like 19, no, not 19. Dude, I'm doing this all backwards today. I mean, I
In
would normally at this point,
1952, if you're listening to this,
it's
back in the
1952, in
past.
case you're listening, it's back in time and we've traveled backwards. But Austin, how the fuck are you doing, man?
Terrible. Have to put up with your bullshit.
I know. Well, there's a good reason why we have the podcast tonight. We originally had two different guests that things kind of just didn't work out, and we had to push their dates to different days because it didn't work with our schedule and theirs. However, I guess we'll get into that here in a minute. Let's maybe do our promo, and if you want, since it's just you and I tonight, do you want to handle the promo?
No.
All right, cool. So basically, Austin hates Invicta Coffee.
Yep.
Invicta Coffee is the official sponsor of the Fight Like Hell podcast.
Who's
You
that?
can use the
Never heard
promo
of him.
code. Yeah, you can use the promo code Fight Like Hell, all one word, at checkout to receive a discount. They are a veteran owned company based out of here in sunny Arizona. They give back to veterans organizations to help with suicide prevention and just help with veterans wellness. The owner of the company is one of our good friends that we've had on the podcast before, Mr. Spencer. I can't think of his last name.
No idea.
Yeah, I
Starts
can't
with a
either.
P.
I almost said
I
Spencer
think it starts with.
Kersey.
Yeah, no. We don't like that guy.
No, we don't like that guy. But yeah, so if you guys want to have some excellent coffee, I literally just got a package in from them today. I ordered more of their pecan and bourbon, which is my favorite. And I don't know if we can talk about it yet. The other thing, has that showed up for you yet?
No, I mean, he said he was going to send it to both of us. Whether he actually sent it or not is two different things.
Mm-hmm. We might be brewing something in the future with Mr. Spencer. So let's just leave it at that.
And then Rob's going to start his own whiskey company, he said.
I mean, I would like to. I just don't know how to do it. Austin won't let me start one. And that's the story that we're sticking to at this point. But how have you been, man?
I've been okay, man. Just like I said, putting up with your bullshit.
There's a lot of bullshit that comes from me. I should probably put my phone on silent because I'm probably going to be getting a text message from someone.
From the person we just got off the phone with.
I don't know what you're talking about. She can't be podcast related yet because Rob is still
because
single. Single for now.
For now.
Anyways,
for a couple more weeks at least.
Potentially. But you and I haven't done a podcast in a while together, and we decided to just throw
the last one we did together was
December.
Yeah, it was our Christmas special.
It was the one that we gave shout outs.
It was exactly 2 months ago.
Damn. Okay. Cool. Well, tonight you guys get us. We're not doing any backstories. We're going to talk about one of my really good friends that passed away. We're going to talk about some other cool stuff, and we're going to talk about some current events. But first, let's get into weekend adventures. Austin, what did you do this weekend? Nothing?
I was super busy with stickers.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all you do now, to the point where you have sold out both companies and don't want to help.
Yeah, I don't care about Saber 6 no more.
You don't even care about Vigilant and Humble anymore, I don't think, at this point.
I mean, I do. They're just not my priority. Because I gotta focus on what pays the bills.
Yeah, this is true. By the way, shout out your sticker company again.
Yeah, it's Bear Fox Designs.
BearFoxDesigns.com.
Yes. Yes.
Dude, you should actually, while I'm going over weekend adventures on my end, bring up your site because I've actually never looked at it because I don't support your business.
I know you don't.
Anyways, let's get into my past week because this is a segment that we usually ask our guest, and we don't have a guest.
What'd you do over the past? I mean, so let's start. Actually, let's start on your. What was it? Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Okay, so let's start on your Wednesday.
So Wednesday, I got off work and started 6 days of being off, and because I'm a federal employee, I literally only had to use 1 day of vacation time. And I went down to Phoenix to go hang out and see my buddy Everett and catch up with him. I also that night went and saw one of my hockey buddies that I used to play with in Alaska. One of my buddies named John, and it was really cool to see him and his family catch up. Got to go to this really fancy hotel down in Phoenix that's like a resort for kids. That was fun.
Rob is a kid, so
I did want to stay there, but I also had a free place to stay in Phoenix with my buddy Everett. So I stayed with Everett. And in the back of my head, I thought maybe I should stay at this kid place because like the water slides, and it was literally just like a kid's place on steroids. Like it was like a small Disney World almost. But from there, I did some hiking out in Phoenix, which was super cool. I went through, as most of you guys probably saw on social media, I went through that cactus forest, which was very interesting. Got some good drone footage, got some good footage in general. And from there, the next day, I went to Laughlin, Nevada to go meet up with one of our friends who only has one leg, aka Jordan, the one-legged wonder. If you guys aren't following him, he's pretty awesome. Do you have your site ready?
I mean, I'm just waiting for you to be done talking. So.
Oh, well, I'll pause for a sec, and we can get back
Just
to
continue.
Jordan. Let's
Just continue talking, and then afterwards we'll do it. Just finish your weekend adventure.
So I met up with Jordan because we were going to go to an event outside that had to do with off-roading out in the desert out in Nevada. And Jordan's friend, I guess, blew an axle on the vehicle that they were supposed to be racing with on Saturday. So they didn't have a vehicle. They ended up coming out to hang out, though. They got to meet Allie. We got to meet some of his friends. I got to meet the owners of Torn Warriors, I think it's called. They're really cool. We'll make sure to include them in the show notes or at them at the end of this podcast. But they're a really cool organization that does stuff for like disabled veterans, mainly centering around off-roading things, everything from four-wheeling to side-by-sides to full-blown like race cars, rally cars, and dirt bikes. They also do dirt bikes. And I met another amputee who was super cool. My brain is fucking blanking on his name right now, even though like we hung out most of the weekend and stayed up super late and got super drunk together. I will look up his name here in a moment because I can't think of it right now. I'm gonna look it up right now while you bring up your site because I feel bad.
I mean, do you though? Do you really ever feel bad?
Josh, and Josh is at Roten 1.5. So that's all spelled out as Roten. It's at ROTTEN, the number 1.
I'm pretty sure. Is that Roten or Rotten?
I think it's Rotten.
I'm pretty sure it's Rotten.
No, it's his last. His last name's Rotten. Okay, whatever. You're fucking this up. So Romeo, Oscar, Tango, Echo, November 1. P as in Papa, Oscar, India, November, Tango, the number 5.
Okay.
He's got a pretty cool page, and he does a lot of off-roading stuff. Super cool, disabled vet, missing a leg, ex-Marine as well. I hung out with nothing but Marines this weekend. It was pretty bad. They're just, constantly like squishing heads to see if they can fit in different jars, as they say. They ate a lot of crayons, as they also say. And yeah,
How many did
it
you
was a good
have?
weekend though. And
How many
from
crayons did you
there,
have?
say again.
Said how many crayons did you have?
I tried 3,
Okay.
and they were kind of delightful. But besides drinking and hanging out with them, it was cool to like actually meet Jordan in person. He got to meet Allie. Allie was like super freaked out by his leg, which was kind of funny, and was like licking it at one point because I guess there was like deer blood on it or something like that. And
Yeah.
she was super sweet. She did really good. She's moving around behind me right now. And yeah, so after that, I drove back to the Grand Canyon to meet up with 2 of my buddies from Florida, Byron and Jason, who came out, and we did a shit ton of hiking and exploring out here. And I'm pretty sure I gave them like altitude sickness because I made them
Or
hike pretty
at least
far
one of
down.
them.
Yeah, one of them was dying, aka Byron was dying.
Who will be a future guest on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Byron definitely will come on. He says he's got a lot of shit talking to do. Dude, I got actually a funny story about him leaving. So
Yeah.
this morning I go to plug in my phone and charge it at my coffee area. So I'm getting all my Invicta coffee set up to drink. And I'm like, where the fuck's my plug? So I take a picture of the outlet where the plug normally is, and I send it to Byron and Jason. And I'm like, where the fuck's my plug? Immediately, Byron responds and laughs at me and says, I took it. It's mine now. He's like, that's what you get for shitty house service or something like that. So I was pretty pissed because it was a decent plug and I needed to charge my phone. So I had to go plug my phone in somewhere else and get ready for the day. As I'm getting ready, trying to find my backpack, which I couldn't find this morning, I go into the guest room and I see a brand new 3.0 high-speed charging iPhone charger that Byron left in the wall and accidentally forgot. So, being the asshole that I am, I took a picture and I sent it to the group chat and immediately said, "Karma's a bitch. I got your better charger. You can have my cheap ass freaking Chinese knockoff one." And he was super heated about this. Also, Jason left me clothes, and him and I are the same size, so I might just steal his stuff. So, yeah,
Jeez.
that's what they get. They also had a fiasco, but we can get into that later. Bring up
Yeah,
your site, man.
Yeah,
Or
man.
do you
That
want to
was.
talk about that?
I don't care. I mean,
No, it's a long story and it's kind of ridiculous, but it had to do with rental cars getting towed, flat tires, and we'll save it for when Byron actually comes on the podcast.
how do I do this? They changed this shit. Okay, there we go. How dare you mute yourself? There you go.
All right. So for those of you who are watching, or if you want to go to 14 minutes and like 10 seconds, you can actually see Austin's sticker website. When are you gonna add one about a Vishla? You need
Never.
a Vishla. Fucked up. Click on that like one that's got the Grim Reaper.
This one.
It's literally, it's got a
Why
Grim
is it?
Reaper on it.
I'd say, why is it not? It's not changing on this end for some reason. That's weird.
Ah,
I clicked on it on my end, but it's not. Hold on. Oh, hold on. It's changing the tab. That's why. There we go.
dead inside but caffeinated. That's awesome. And these have been going really well for you.
Yeah, I sold tons.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, make sure you guys go check that out. Uh, do we have any promo codes for that, or is that going to ever be a thing?
I might create one.
Okay. Maybe we should do a Fight Like Hell one and make it part of the podcast. Get another official sponsor.
Well, I mean, we have an official sponsor. It's called Saber 6.
And this is true.
And we have a promo code for both websites actually that I don't think we've promoted in a while.
Why don't you promote it then?
I mean, I'll promote it since you always fuck it up. It's promo code
Dyslexic motherfucker.
it's promo code FLH for 20% off of Vigilant Humble or Saber 6.
Yeah. And that'll give you 20% off at both sites. Recently, Austin released a design that he's actually wearing called Home of the Brave, which is a really, really sick hoodie. And on the Saver 6 site, we released a bunch of outdoor merch. Everything from chasing sunsets, which is something commonly done out this way, to leave me I'm going hiking, please don't follow, or something like that, and conquer your mountain. And then we also did the collab one for Not All Wounds Are Visible.
Yeah, that one's done pretty good for you.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing about that one though is, and some of you guys know this and some of you guys might not. So anything that Austin and I release together as like a collab project, both of the companies, I guess I'm trying to think of a way to say it, is like both of it goes to both companies basically.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to not support Austin, don't buy the things that we collab. Just buy Saber 6 stuff, basically.
Don't buy Saber 6 stuff. Don't do it. It's a trap.
Or if you're on Vigilant and Humble, you should buy things that we collabed with Saber 6. So, yes, do that.
Don't do it.
And then the only other thing, I guess we should get into the main reason why we decided to do the podcast, and then we'll go into March for Miles.
That's fine.
Okay. So I know we've been kind of fucking around a lot lately today, but one of the reasons why I wanted to do the podcast today is one of my best friends I grew up with, named Kevin Watson, would have been 39 today. He would have been 39. Kevin and I grew up together. We got in trouble together. We used to skip school together. I was a terrible influence for him. He was a band nerd, and I was a hockey jock that constantly.
You still are.
Yeah, kind of. Constantly skipping school, constantly screwing off. Pretty sure I got Kevin to smoke weed. I'm pretty sure like anything that Kevin was like this perfect kid until he met me.
And then you fucked him up.
I fucked him up. And then trade off, what we used to do was we'd modify cars. We were constantly trying to figure out, he had like an engineering mind and he always wanted to manipulate things. So we were constantly trying to figure out ways to give more horsepower to our vehicles or to set up like the most modern and badass sound systems, full light systems. Literally one of the SUVs I had that was like a hand-me-down was a Dodge Ram Charger. We decked it out, got a new paint job on it, added like K&N air filters, did full exhaust. I can't remember which brand we went with because I know we did Borla exhaust on my Camaro, but we did whatever was Flowmaster. Yeah, we did Flowmaster exhaust. We removed the Cadillac converter to make it even louder. And then we had loud ass subwoofers, tweeters, mids, everything. Anyways, Kevin and I like literally used to hang out to the point where if I got in a fight with my parents, I would run away and I would go to his house to hide and hang out. And his mom would call my mom and basically say, "Hey, like, I know Robert said he ran away, but he's actually over here. We're going to take care of him for the next day or two, and then we'll make him go home. But we just wanted you to basically know that he's okay." So our families were super close. I'm pretty sure Kevin's mom at that point in our lives was not the biggest fan of me because I was a very bad influence on Kevin.
You still are a bad
Um,
influence.
this is true. But I mean, Kevin and I have probably thousands of memories and cool stuff. And 9 years ago, he was getting ready to turn 30, and I reached out to him, or we were talking on, I think, like Facebook Messenger. And he's like, "Dude," he's like, "I don't know about turning 30. Like, what's it going to be like? I don't like that number." And me being 30 for like 6 months at this point, it was like, "Dude, it's going to be awesome. It's the greatest. 30s are the best, man. Like, we're going to have so much more money. We're going to know what we want. 30s are the new 20s. You got the rest of your life ahead of you." And I'll never forget that I told him that. And it kind of sucked because he didn't have the rest of his life to look forward to it. He was getting ready to get married. He was probably about a month out from his wedding. He had a beautiful fiance who's an amazing person who I'm still friends with today. And they were on the pathway to getting married. They had the whole like, let's build a family. They had a dog together. They had a beautiful house down in Fort Lauderdale. And Kevin was working with his dad at a business that his dad owned that he was passing down to him. And basically what that business was a company that helped with customized private planes. And what they would do is they would put instrumentation devices in it, or they would put radio equipment. And they were up testing planes, and they had to make an emergency landing, and they couldn't get to the runway in time. They ended up crashing in a parking lot like right before the runway, and instantly killed all three of them. The pilot, Kevin's dad, who was on the flight, and Kevin as well. And I'm saying a lot of ands right now because it's just, even though it was 9 years ago, like,
Yeah, no, you're good, bro. Like I said, because it's still, it doesn't matter how much time goes by, it still hits home, and especially, someone you're so close with, like it can be, 10, 20 years from now, and it'll still hit just as hard because you guys were so close, I mean, they say, time heals all wounds. I mean, so, I mean, but it's never going to be gone. It's just, it's easier to deal with until you think about it.
yeah. And I obviously have memory issues, and sometimes like it's a joke, and like I definitely like pull on it a lot. But Kevin is one of my few friends that I'll never forget his birthday because when I was growing up, my hockey number was the same number as him. And I would tell him, I'm like, "Dude, I know your birthday." He's like, "I know you know my birthday." And I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "'Cause it's your hockey number 3 times." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, like I'll never forget that for the rest of my life."
Yeah, man, and like I said, and it just ties into you because, like I said, hockey's such a big part of your life, and he was such a big part of your life.
Yeah. And with our guest, not being able to make it tonight, and a couple things going on with both the businesses and my travel, we were considering maybe not doing the episode. And I got really upset with Austin earlier and said, like, I really don't care how long the podcast is.
Yeah, you just you want to share his story with people. You want to share his life with people, and so that you know tell people that that he mattered to you, and that that you haven't forgot.
No, I haven't. And like, I've been wanting to text his mom all day today, but I haven't because I don't want to make her sadder.
But I mean, honestly, man, I think you should have, because I mean, it just because I don't see it as a point of like making her sadder, because I mean, she's going through like the same emotions, if not more, obviously, but the same emotions, and it's nice because it's like we talk about, you don't fight alone, and if you I think it would have been a good thing if you did, because it lets her know that she's not the only one, thinking about it or going through it.
Oh, it's so late out there right now, but I definitely will text her, or at least maybe I'll write her a message on Facebook Messenger tonight because like
Yeah, I mean,
we've
because
kept
I
in
mean, she's
touch
gonna
over the
see it.
years, and
Yeah, I mean, and it's the thought that counts, man. Like she's gonna. It's like, yeah, it sucks to think about it, but she's gonna appreciate it because you did reach out. You know, it's like, yeah, I understand.
yeah,
You don't want to burden her, but like that's the whole thing we talk about, though. Like with when it comes to veterans or anything, dude, is like we talk about this as saying, you feel like you don't want to be a burden, but that's where, you kind of have to be, you know what I mean? Like there's that point where, it's good to reach out. Like it's good to talk about, you're not being a burden because you're saying that you do remember him, like you are thinking about him, and like by not reaching out, it could be the opposite almost, you know what I mean?
yeah. And now I kind of, in hindsight, feel kind of shitty because I did think about it a lot of today, and today was kind of a shit show coming back after being off for 6 days. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things that like both him and I, served in the military. We're both pretty much the same age. We're best friends. We both had a lot of world experience traveling. We both were like big time snowboarders, and like
Yeah. And
I lost a lot of friends in combat.
yeah, I mean, but I mean, the most important thing is that you don't forget about them, and you do talk about them, and you do share their story, and that's what this podcast is for, and that's why we have this podcast, is to share people's story and to talk about people. It's like, yeah, it hurts to talk about, but it's good to get it out there to let everybody know that that it's okay to feel these things. What it's okay to talk about these things that hurt you.
Yeah, it's like the thing that just bothers me so much about it is, like this might come out fucked up, but I'll just say it like, my friends that died overseas, like that makes a lot of sense to me.
Right.
Now owning a business that does suicide awareness and, having 11 friends commit suicide, like this is going to sound super fucked up, but it kind of makes sense. Like, but, you know, a friend that like you were supposed to be able to like grow old with
Mhm.
to just die randomly in a plane crash, like it's just,
And
and he was such a good person. Like that's
yeah,
what kills me the most. Like,
and and those happen, and it sucks when that happens because, like I said, freak accidents like that happen every day,
yeah,
and it was nothing that they did wrong or anything. Like freak
yeah,
accidents
absolutely.
just happen, and especially with the being in an airplane. Every time you get in that airplane, it's just like being in the military. Joining the military, you have a possibility of not coming home. And that's just like getting in an airplane. Every time you get in an airplane, you have a possibility. I mean, yeah, you never want it to happen, but it's always a possibility.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that, like, I guess one thing that taught me, and I think sometimes it's misconstrued with relationships I have with people that I'm close to. I personally will tell someone that I love them and I care about them, and I will try to make sure that that person knows that they're cared about. Like I tell you all the time, Austin, how much I love you and how much I care about you and how grateful I am for you, because like the reality is, we're all gonna die, and
Yeah.
we don't know when that date's gonna be. It could be unexpected. It could be in some states it could be planned out if someone's going to commit suicide. I mean, it could be
Mhm.
anything. And
Yeah,
I
and
think,
like yeah, and like we talk about though, like the people that do commit suicide or do it, like they only think about themselves. Like they don't think about everybody else that it's gonna hurt. Like for instance, your buddy dying, like, I mean, granted he didn't commit suicide or anything, but like, they don't think about all the people that it's gonna affect. Like, yeah, I'm sure like his mom was hurting, especially losing two people instead of just one,
I
but
mean, it
it's a
was her
ripple effect.
husband too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Her husband
She
and
got
her
dealt the
son.
shittiest card. Like,
Yeah, like I couldn't imagine going through that. Like I've seen it secondhand, like people going through it, and I couldn't imagine.
yeah. But I guess the couple like lasting points I want to bring up, and then we'll kind of like get into the rest of this podcast and wrap it up, is if you care about someone, and or you love someone, just make sure on a daily basis that they know that, because we don't know when our last days are. And
Right.
you know I would rather love someone hard, like, and care about someone and let them know that I cared about them just in case something happened to me, or
Hmm.
vice versa, than shelter my feelings or how I really care about someone and
Right.
not let them know, because we don't know what our timelines are, I guess is the
Yeah.
point.
I mean, like I said, freak accidents happen every day. And people never know when those freak accidents are going to happen. And that's why it's always important to just do the best you can, and live your life to the fullest.
Yeah. But yeah, so rest in peace, Kevin. I think about you quite a bit. And if, you know, your mom's listening to this, Debbie, I think about you a lot, Miss Watson. Like, I, I love you. I don't know what to say a lot of times. And I know I've told you that many times.
And that's the
And
hardest part too. Is you know because I know, and especially with you, Rob, because I know you like to overthink things. But I mean, it's hard to say because you don't want to say the wrong things. And it's hard, because you don't want to say like one word, like a one-word answer either, or just send her, say thinking of you or something like that. You want to send her a long message, but you don't want to say the wrong things.
yeah. But thank you for everyone that stuck with us and listened to that. And just, I think I think we should probably go on to the next topic, so I can kind of like get
No,
my
you're
head
good,
back
man.
together.
Where's the whiskey?
Yeah.
So no, that's fine. So I mean, so the next thing we wanted to touch on is our March for Miles, that we were going to do for next month.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so we're gonna do kind of like we did for the September, for 22 miles. This time it's just gonna be however many miles you want. It doesn't have to be weighted. We just want you to get out and get your miles in. So we'll be doing shirts, just like we did for the 22.
Yep.
I have those all made and mocked up, and then we will be posting about those probably tomorrow.
Yep.
And then I think we're gonna do. I think we talked about doing a pre-order that way. So last time when we did it, people aren't getting their shirts like 2 weeks into the challenge.
Yeah, definitely do a pre-order. We should get those transfers ordered as we discussed and figure all that stuff out because this is going to be for a good cause, and we want people to stay active as we head towards the end of winter and beginning of spring. So we thought, what can we do for the month of March, and what can we do towards suicide awareness, which is something both companies are big on, and this podcast is big on. So we're pretty excited about the shirts. Are going to be pretty nice. Yeah, it's going to be for a good cause, and we're excited about it.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like I said, and then we're gonna do this one, and then we'll have another 22 challenge in September.
Yep, exactly. All right, so let's get into something kind of funny and a little bit entertaining, even though it's like 2 or 3 weeks old now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, old news now.
So Super Bowl halftime show. Did you see it, Austin?
I did. I actually watched it. I watched the whole game entirely this year. I mean, I watched it last year too, but I actually watched the whole game entirely this year.
You had conversations with everyone, but mainly yourself, between me, you, Spencer, and
Yeah.
and
I mean, I was just, I was just commenting on our group chat.
yeah, you were. And why why is
And you
my
guys are like,
brain blanking on Alpha Instinct? Why can't I think of his
you
name?
mean Paul?
Thank you. I was like,
That one guy.
and
That one guy that does food stuff.
Alpha. Well, the thing is, like, he hides his face. He doesn't say his name ever. But anyways,
We
Paul.
saw his face. He was on here.
This is true. But yeah, so the football game was obviously good. The halftime show was great. It was excellent until what part, Austin?
Well, I mean, the whole thing was excellent. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, the
There
halftime
was a
show was still
part
great.
that
The
became like a
halftime show.
national/worldwide meme.
I mean, that's only because 50 Cent was, upside down. Now he's Puffy Cent.
Yeah, poor dude. Literally tried to recreate the whole entire "It's Your Birthday" song by coming in upside down, and 50 Cent is a little bit thicker than he used to be. And yeah, the whole world made memes about it for probably weeks. And all you guys already know this because you probably saw the show and or have seen the memes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people saw the halftime show. It was probably one of the most watched halftime shows.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, let's go on to our next subject, which we didn't get a link for, but we'll just talk about it.
Yes.
So, as everyone knows, currently in the middle of February in 2022, right now, there's big trucker protests going on in Canada. However, America decided to, join. Some of the USA truckers decided to join people up in, were they out of Calgary?
No, I mean that's where it started. I don't know if that's. I mean that's where That's where it originated from.
Yeah. And now there's going to be one that actually goes across the US. And we're looking up earlier. I think there's two that are happening. I think one's coming from California, one's coming from DC. And it's going to be other like trucker rallies. One is literally going through Williams, Arizona, which is like an hour away from the Grand Canyon. So I know that a coworker or two plan on taking that morning off to go out there and like hold American flags out on the overpass in that area. So I thought that's super cool. That's super motivating that, we're coming together as, two nations to support, the, for lack of better words, the bullshit that the
Yeah.
Canadian government is putting him through. Was it Prime Minister Trudeau? Can't even pronounce his name.
I have no idea what his name is.
I got it.
Okay.
Prime Minister of Canada. I can't pronounce his name. Trudeau. Yeah.
Okay.
And he is not a liked man in Canada. And anything that we find that's supporting like those rallies we've been here sending to Sam, our Canadian friend up there, or I've had multiple conversations with people in the lower 48 that also actually the 50 states, because a couple of my friends from Alaska have been sending me things on the rally. And I think that's good that, so many people are behind the fact that they don't want these vaccines mandated. They want more freedom. I mean, they're trying to do everything to stop it, to include punishing people and or businesses. They're trying to help out the organization. Oh, there was a point, I guess, where GoFundMe took, I want to say it was close to like $5 million that had been raised for it.
Yeah.
Or it, you know what? Don't quote me on that because it could have been $5,000 for all I know. Either way, let's just say that it was $5,000. I know it was way more than that, but GoFundMe at one point decided that they were going to take that fund and donate it somewhere else. They later went and retracted it and gave it back to the organization. But where the fuck do you come up with? The whole entire point of GoFundMe is to fund either individuals or organizations, and that's where people's money is supposed to go to. And then you can tip or give some of the proceeds to GoFundMe to keep the site running. But the audacity to think that they can just take other people.
Yeah, they tried to commandeer over $9 million.
Okay, I was off by a little bit. And when I say a little bit, I was off by $4 million. That's fucking insane.
That's pocket change.
Yeah, but no, that's fucking insane. Where do you come up with the fucking gall to even do something like that?
Yeah, I mean they quickly backtracked it once the media got a hold of it.
100%. That was in their best interest. But yeah, so there's a bunch of there's an Instagram page or two that's been created for it on like the whole trucker rally.
A whole bunch.
And it's obviously common news right now.
Yeah.
So I think we covered that. Obviously, go out and support that if you believe in it and or want to be a part of it. And unless you got anything to plug, I think we get into ATI and wrap this thing up.
Yeah, no, that's fine, man. No, like I said, I don't think we have anything else. We can get into ATI. I mean, we're at 43 minutes, so I think we're doing good.
Yep, we plan to do about 45 minutes, so let's knock it out. Would you rather be extremely... Oh, by the way, Mom, Dad, stop listening. Would you rather be extremely... And also, if Miss Watson's listening to this, don't listen to this
just stop after we talked about it.
Just stop. This is a very, very vulgar part of the podcast. Okay, so... ATI, would you rather be extremely good looking with a micro penis or ugly with a huge penis?
Well, I mean, I'm going to go with ugly with a huge penis.
You are going with ugly with a huge penis?
Yeah.
I
mean, I already know. I made this question, and automatically.
You did it to fuck with me.
Of course. Because it has, it's your ego, but then it's both.
But it's also sex.
Yeah.
I wonder if a micro penis can feel.
I mean, ain't nobody gonna sleep with you if you have a micro penis.
I mean, they'll probably take my clothes off at least.
And then be like, oh, nope, see you later.
Fuck. This is a hard question. This might be one of the hardest questions I've had to answer.
That's why
I enjoy being good looking. And then to be extremely good looking, that's an enhancement. So like I get to even look better than before.
But then you get then you're gonna trick bitches because you got a micro penis.
Fuck. But if you have a really huge penis, girls don't necessarily like the really huge penises.
I mean, who knows, Rob? Who knows? You'd probably get more sex than with if you had a micro penis.
I'm gonna find someone that loves me for my looks and my micro penis.
I knew you were gonna pick
All right,
that.
next
Just
question.
because your ego won't let you be ugly.
Next question.
Okay. Would you rather find a rat in your kitchen or a roach in your bed?
Rat in the kitchen.
Yeah, 100%. Ain't nobody want to find a
Yeah, that one
roach in
was
your
the easy
bed.
one.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're the one that put it on there.
I know. This next one's kind of dumb too. We're gonna skip that next one because
You're
I
the
already
one
know
that
you're in.
see. This is what happens when I have Rob pick the questions and he picks stupid questions.
Would you rather take amazing selfies but look terrible in all other photos, or be photogenic everywhere else but in your selfies?
I mean, I don't take selfies, so I mean,
So you're gonna go with photogenic everywhere else?
yes.
Okay.
I mean, because you always look the worst in everybody else's photos.
This is true, so it would be an enhancement.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a no-brainer. I want to look good. I'm just
And then
gonna
if you
take
just have
terrible selfies.
if you have other people take your selfies, then you're good. Then you still look good because you're not taking the selfie.
Oh shit. Yeah, they can do
Yeah.
like the arm out, like just past you and like get the group shot. Okay,
Yeah.
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 All right.
See,
That was easy
easy.
too. All right, next one's a tough one.
Would you rather lose your sex organs forever or gain 200 pounds? Is that right now or anytime?
It's like right now.
I mean, I'm gonna go 200 pounds because I'm not losing my penis.
But what if your wife can't find it because of the 200 pounds?
I mean, I could probably lose my sex organs. I mean, for you on the other hand, you'd be kind of screwed because I mean, literally, then you'd be single for the rest of your life.
Yeah, um, I'm gonna throw on 200 pounds
I'd
quite
like to see,
quickly.
I'd like to see chubby Rob.
Yeah, that was actually a joke in the green
The
room when we
the
were
pre-chat.
talking to someone. There was the pre-chat, and someone who I may or may not be talking to.
May or may not.
I
Who may
immediately
or may
asked
not be
them, "What would
listening
you
to
think
this.
if I gained 200 pounds?" And I think her comment was, "Have you ever been fat?"
Yeah, and I said no.
Yeah, so I'm keeping my sex organs. All right, next question. You got it?
Yeah, would you rather freeze to death or burn to death?
Freeze, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because what is commonly said about people that are freezing to death is there is a point where you kind of just drift off. I don't know how that's true though, because how do people know what people's last thoughts were unless they survived almost freezing to death?
I don't know. We'll do a test. I'll light you on fire and see if you live.
And then freeze you to death? I'm going
Yeah.
freeze to death. I think it's just less painful way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, burning to death would suck.
Oh, it'd be terrible. And then if
I
someone
mean,
put you out, you're like dismembered for the rest of your
right?
life.
I mean, but yeah, freeze to death. I've heard like, and then at the very end, like you get hot, like so you take off all your clothes. It's like
Well,
most people that freeze to death are like naked.
yeah. Well, Jacob and I were out in either single digit or negative weather up in the mountains in Alaska, and there was a point where we got snowed in somewhere. We're stuck. I was using, I think I either had a 5 degree or a 20-degree bag. Whatever the difference was, it was colder than what my bag could actually support.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually strip down to nothing because you can use your body heat to
Right?
warm
Yeah.
up your clothes. That way you can throw on the clothes the next morning.
Yeah.
So I remember I'm sitting there and I'm like shivering and my teeth are chattering And I'll never forget, like, Jacob's like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "Which bag did you bring?" And I told him, he's like, "Well," he's like, "it's about 10 degrees colder than that bag can handle." He's like, "You might want to fix yourself." And all I kept thinking was like, fuck, like now I gotta break into like some of my mountaineering gear. And what I mean by that is like my parka, and I have like parka pants. I can't even think of what they're called, like my puffies basically.
Yeah.
And I had stuff that was good for if you're sitting around for a long time and you're ice climbing. And I'm not used to putting that stuff on to sleep in a sleeping bag, but I'm starting to get desperate and get like super cold. And at a certain point, there was a point where I was so fucking cold and debating on what to do. All of a sudden, like I just felt like I needed to be outside the tent. Like I had to be outside the tent. It was going to be warmer outside the tent, which is completely false.
Right.
And my brain was telling me to do that. And I was like, wait, this might be a slippery slope. Like this could get really fucking bad. Like I think before I stop thinking logically, I need to throw on all my clothes and just hope for the best. And that's what I did. I ended up warming up. But it was a really rough night. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't
because
like it, but also I wasn't on fire.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, your mind plays tricks on you.
But okay. Last question. Would you rather be in a real version of The Walking Dead or Jurassic Park?
I'm gonna go with The Walking Dead because I mean, at least.
Damn.
I mean, for me, I was gonna go Walking Dead because it's easier to kill, the zombies. I would think than it would be dinosaurs.
You're right. You're actually a lot of times on these questions, I feel like you pick the ignorant answer on like survival. Like the time when it was like the little Spartans or something like that. Like you were willing to
Yeah.
fight like 200 of them or something. Like there's answers that you give, and I'm like, that's stupid. Like he's gonna die. Like that's not gonna work. This is
I mean,
one of the first.
It's easier to kill a zombie than a T-Rex.
You are 100% correct,
I mean,
but I'm taking the gamble, and
okay, Rob's gonna die.
I'm going to probably die.
Rob's gonna die.
I want to see Velociraptors. I want to see
You're
a
definitely gonna die
T-Rex.
by those.
Definitely gonna die.
You know how fast those things are.
Definitely gonna die. But like, I want to see dinosaurs more
Or
than
the
I
or
want to see.
the or the things that their head fans out and spits acid at
Oh,
you.
Dilophosaurus.
Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, I'm definitely dead. But I would die happy because I got to see dinosaurs, or I would die in a lot of pain. But I would be
Yeah, a lot
happy
of pain.
before the death. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Cool. Well,
Rob's
unless you
gonna
got
die
anything
in
else,
Jurassic Park. Rob's gonna die in Jurassic Park with a micro penis.
that could be the name of the podcast: Jurassic Park versus micro penis. Or maybe we should make something towards Kevin.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Kevin's micro
Cool.
penis. No.
No. I hope his mom didn't listen to this part. Anyways, we appreciate everyone. Sorry we didn't have a guest this week, but at the same time, we felt like it was important to get on and ramble a little bit.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to our podcast. You can hear us on all platforms. If you have subscribed already, unsubscribe also. With Spotify, you can actually rate us now, so throw us a rating. We greatly appreciate it. And other than that, we love you guys and peace.